Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside RIC Athletics. I'm Cody Chalifoux. Today I'm joined by thrower on the indoor and outdoor men's track team, Michelson Salomon. Mike, thanks so much for coming down and spending some time with us.
Of course, no problem, Mike. What's going on, everybody? I'm Mike.
And so you guys just finished up the LEC championships for your outdoor season. You're a thrower. And the weight throw and all that fun stuff. So just kind of talk about this weekend, how'd it go, and just talk about this weekend.
Well, this weekend wasn't really, the best weekend for me. It's one of the weekends where, every time I tend to have, long travels to any, to meets, my knees tend to tense up. So, I'll probably, when I get to the meet, my knee will just, start giving me problems, and then I won't be able to perform, how I usually perform. So, this weekend wasn't one of my best weekends, so I threw, the way I wasn't supposed to throw. But, I got through it, and I was able to, still perform and still get placed in the second.
Right, yeah. Even with all those things you said, you still end up being second team all LEC, and I know you had some awards last year as well and years before, so you started off the season kind of later on in the year, about halfway through this, semester, and so kind of tell it, did that kind of impact your ramp up as usual? I know you didn't start the year with the team; you kind of came on halfway through. So did that kind of impact your ramp up, or did you just were you working behind the scenes to kind of stay in where you needed to be?
Yeah, as the season started, everybody started before I did. Mm-hmm. I was putting in all the effort, all the work in way during the summer, all the way I led up all the way to till I came back during the season. But yeah, I was doing a lot of work behind the scenes, putting in the work, making sure I get my technique down, making sure when I come back this year, I'm able to do better than I did last year. Because last year I started off, that's when I just picked up the weight, and that's when, I decided that, after taking at least 2 years break from from high school because of COVID years, that I was determined to get back at the spot that I was at in high school. But also it's as a college athlete, I know in order to be part of a top athlete or being top in the nation, mm-hmm. You had to put in just as much as working as I did. And now I'm at a good place where I want to be, but also I still want to exceed more.
Right. And what does an off season look like for you? I know as a thrower, it's a little bit more difficult to kind of get the necessary reps in. You need all the equipment. It's easier for a runner; they can just go out and run whenever. So what does an off season look like for you, and what kind of things do you have to do, kind of hoops you have to jump through to make sure that you have access to some throwing circles and all this equipment?
A lot of work. A lot of times in the sun in the summer, and a lot of time in the weight room, just pushing unnecessary weight that your body can't even attain. So it's really there was still points where in the summer where I wanted to say I wanted to quit because there's no way I'm putting this much work.
Right.
And and the heat is always hot, and sometimes my off-season coach would just motivate me and just tell me how all this work would pay off, and I could honestly say the work that I put in the summer is starting to pay off, because ever since my season ended last year, I just been determined to change up my technique so I'm able to perform better this year, mm-hmm. And which I did. I put in a lot of work this summer. I lifted a lot of heavy weights. I mostly train like a power lifter,
okay,
instead of an athlete. But towards when my season was starting, when I knew the season was about to come, that's when I started changing my body up. I started doing more athletic weights and then all that, and then stopped lifting heavy weights in order to get back in athletic shape.
Right.
So, but in the off season, I was training hard. I was just putting my body through hell, and then now it's actually paying off.
Paying off for you, yeah. And you have a fun group of guys on the throwers. You have a lot of young guys as well. I know Ryan Hazard's been placing well, and Seamus Culhane and Brandon Moda have been doing well. Chris McCarthy as well has been with the team for a couple years. So how fun is it to have a lot of really good throwers who are all young, and the combination of you kind of teaching them how things go, but also them pushing you because you know that they're young, but they're also really good, and kind of that iron sharpen iron kind of dynamic you guys have.
Yeah. I mean, those guys, I went to high school with them. when Ryan and Seamus and Brandon were like, they were just coming up. They were just like, freshmen and sophomore while I was a junior going into my senior year. Fortunately, my senior year, I was, because of COVID, I didn't get to finish it. But I recognized Ryan, I recognized Seamus. Brendan, not really, because by the time when Brendan was throwing, I didn't really he wasn't part of our conference, so I didn't really see Brendan. But I did remember the name though. And Chris, I've been throwing Chris ever since I was a freshman in high school, and I already had a kind of a good relationship with those guys.
Nice.
So. But as soon as we got together in this team, we kind of just clicked because we knew each other for so long.
Perfect.
And now we were able to share, as able to be teammates and share a good a good relationship.
That's awesome. Well, Michelson, before we get you out of here, we like to play a game here on Inside RIC Athletics.
Yeah.
It's called Vibe Check.
Okay.
All right? Are you a music guy? Are you a music person?
Yeah.
What is, if I could ask you what your favorite song right now is? I know it's a loaded question. I didn't give you any time to prepare.
Really?
But what is your favorite? If you tell you what song you've been playing recently a lot.
Well, I've been playing "Spin" by Kodak Black.
All right.
And I also been playing what's that Uzi song that just came out? I Just Wanna Rock.
Yep.
Because the reason why I play those songs before I throw or before any meet, you could just if you listen to the beat.
You're right. You kind of get shit.
I'm able to vibe to it, be pumped up, but also I'm able to find rhythm through the beat and how I'm gonna perform.
Awesome.
Because if you listen to some of the beats, it just it teaches you how you're about to throw and how you're supposed to throw.
Awesome.
But it's just throwing things that I try to pick up. And then, that's why I vibe to those two songs.
Perfect.
To get me ready,
Awesome. So here's how the game works, all right? So my favorite genre is shuffle. I listen to all types of music, R&B, rap, country, Frank Sinatra swing music. I love it all. I have 7,741 songs on my phone.
Well,
so here's how the game works. I press shuffle. You're going to watch me? Boom.
Yeah, yep.
So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to show you the first 5 songs that come up on shuffle. If you don't know the song, put it to your ear. You can listen to it for a second.
All right.
Me and you on a cross-country drive. I have the aux, and you're going to tell me at the end of the 5 songs if I'm allowed to keep the aux or if I don't pass the vibe check. All right? So I played this with about 20 student athletes by now. I've only gotten denied twice.
Okay.
But you have to tell me straight up. If I don't pass it, I don't get the aux. All right? So it could be anything. So the first song is called Savior's Road by Anderson .Paak. I'll put that to your ear so you can listen to it if you haven't heard it before.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So that's the vibe of it. I know. Let me put it a little bit farther along so he's actually doing his thing. So that's the first song. All right. Next song is The Blueprint 2 by Jay-Z. You a Jay-Z fan?
Yeah.
You gotta respect Hove. Yeah, you gotta. So there you go. So that's the second song. So that's the first 2. Third one's called Lost by Luke Christopher. So that's the third song. All right, so you can Drop That Nay Nay remix by We Are Tunes featuring Lil Jon, T-Pain, and French Montana. That's an old school one there. That one's a while ago. Intro by DaBaby. So there's that one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's all 5. So, Michelson, you tell me, do I pass the vibe check, yes or no?
No, you do for sure. Because, I listen to everything.
Right.
I listen to old school, I listen to new school, I listen to R&B, I listen to everything. And, you had the baby on there, you had JC. You feel me? So, you follow the vibe check because, it's definitely going to be a lit trip, if it is.
Guys, this is probably the most glowing review I've gotten so far. Michelson, thank you so much for sitting with us. Good luck the rest of the way. I know you have a few big meets coming up, and we look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate
it. Of course.
Hey, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Inside RIC Athletics. Make sure to go over to goanchorman.com for everything Rhode Island College athletics. There, you can find a varsity schedule so you can pick out what games you want to watch at home with a link to the broadcast there, what games you want to come out and see in person, and we'll see you there. Also, there is a broadcast link that goes right to our YouTube channel, which has all of these Inside RIC Athletics archived. So if you want to watch the first one, if you want to watch the next one, you can go to YouTube, like, subscribe, get notified when those goes up. If you want to watch these live, make sure to check into the broadcast where a lot of these episodes are aired for the first time during halftime of whatever event we are doing. Also, don't forget, Rhode Island College has a radio show that airs every Friday from 4:30 to 5 o'clock on 790 The Score, anchored in athletics. Make sure to check that out. George Bishel, our host, has been doing a fantastic job. More interviews with players, more interviews with coaching, and also more interviews with staff around Rhode Island College. And there on GoAnchorman.com is also an archived list to watch all those that you've maybe missed or any of the future. So thank you so much. I've been Cody Chalifoux. Have a wonderful rest of your day.